Much, Dr. Anita ji, and it is a immense pleasure for me also to get associated with this global encyclopedia of Ramayana, as well as Ayodhya Institute of Ramayana. So I have been most respected, some of the respected as like Harish Pathak ji, Umapati Dixit ji, Professor Sambat ji, Gumbani ji, and some of the participants whose faces are visible to me, like Dr. Usha Sukla and Indrani Sinha, and other panelists and observers of this webinar on this Ram worshipping in different countries of the world. So I have been given a topic related with Ram Katha in the different stories of the world. And it is a very big topic. It is not possible to, for me to summarize all the Ram Katha have been, how it has been transformed in all the Southeast Asian countries. But in a very brief manner, I will present myself that how Ram Katha of Dasrath Jatak, which is available, one of the 500 Jatakas of our Pali Tipitaka, and how this Ram Katha has been developed in different forms in other South Asian countries, and how the other Hindu deities have been also assimilated in other Southeast Asian countries. So in a very brief manner, I will discuss some of the things related with this within given time. So as we know that this there is a Dasrath Jatak which comes as a 461 Jatak of the 500 Jatakas which are available in Khudak Nikaya. And we know that Jatak is a collection of the birth stories of the Buddha, previous birth stories of the Siddhartha Gautam, or in our 550 birth story related with the previous birth of the Buddha. So this Ram Katha is available only in Dasrath Jataka, and we are getting informations related with the Ram, Lord Ram in this story. But there is a different story which have been crept upon this, and it seems that Ram Katha was developed in other Brahminical and Jain literature later on. Like our Dr. Umapati Dixit ji was also throwing light on this, that how Ram Katha has been developed in other Brahminical and Jain literatures. So there might be three sources, like Brahminical, Jain and Buddhist. And it is very difficult to say that from which source is the original one. But it is very difficult to decipher that which one is the older one. But we can say that there might be one source from which these Ram Katha might have developed in different countries based upon their nature of the society as well as geographical locations and the person concerns of that country. And we also know that this Jatakas is the development of 6th century BC. But Valmiki Ramayana, which is coming in 5th century AD, so some of the scholars are saying that this Dasrath Jatak is the oldest form of Ram Katha. But even Buddhist scholars like Richard F. Gombrich, he is also not in favor of accepting this Dasrath Jatak as the oldest one. And he says that this Dasrath Jatak might be interpolated by other scholars in the form of Ram Katha, and it does not have any relation with the Ram Katha. And he says that this is a distorted story of the Ram Katha in Dasarath Jataka. Even the capital of the city is shown as Varanasi in Dasarath Jataka, but in our Ram Katha available in the Valmiki Ramayana, we are having Ajodhya as a capital city. And in Pali Tipitaka also, in Sanjukta Nikaya, there is a Phenu Upamam Sutta, where we are having the references that Ajodhya was the capital of our Ram also. And it is said that Ekam Samayo Bhagava Nadia Gangai Nadia Tire Ayodhyam Biharati, that this Ajodhya was the capital which was based upon the Ganga river, not as a river of Sarju river. And scholars are deciphering archaeological excavations are going on, and they are saying that this Ajodhya might be related with the Saket or Kushal Pradesh of that. So whatever the nature of a Ram Katha, all have developed in their own way and developed it accordingly their own need, as per the need of the society, as per the need of the country concerned there. So this is the related with the Dasarath Ram Katha. And I am not going to discuss the Dasarath Jatak in a very detailed manner, because most of the persons are aware of that how Ram Katha has been depicted in this. But as we know that Ram Katha is the great cultural treasurer of our India, and Lord Ram is the hero of most of the parts of our Valmiki Ramayana and other things. The problem is that the cultural struggle is running throughout the social plane always. So at the time of the 6th century BC, at the time of the Buddha also, and before that, there were cultural struggle, and it was based upon the social cultural milieu of that time, of that period also, of that concern also. So this Ram Katha is still popular and became more popular outside India, and we are seeing that how in South Asian countries it has been developed, and how it has been developed, and how the Hindu deities and Hindu gods have been assimilated with the ideals of the teachings of the Buddha. I will give you in a very brief manner. So there might be, there is the special character of Ram Katha is that it was developed in 3 sources in clear way. So in Buddhist literature, Ram Katha has been developed in Bodhisattva form. We know that a Bodhisattva is a person who is in the process of getting enlightenment, and he, on following the 10 types of paramitas, perfections, technically known as human values, he tries to get a state of eternal bliss and Nibbana or Nirvana. So in Ram Katha, Dasarath Jatak, Ram has been depicted as a Ram Pandit, the Ram wise one, and he is a Bodhisattva. And there are some references that how in Dasarath Jataka, when he was in the forest, and Bharat, his brother, informs him after 9 years that our father, the King Dasarath, has been expired and he passed away. Then King Ram does not give any emotion, and he does not become sorry also. And he gives the teachings that all things are subject to impermanence. And that is why in Dasarath Jatak, Ram has been depicted as a Bodhisattva form. And he knows, and he is in the possession of the Pragya or Panya. And through this Pragya, he is able to know that all things are subject to impermanence. But after that, Bharat and, Lakshman and Sita comes from other directions of the forest. And whenever they hear the teachings of the, hear about the news of the King Dasarath passing away, they became very sorry and they are weeping. So here Ram is depicted as a bodhisattva form. So, but we are coming that how in other countries that this Dasarath Jatak or Ram Katha has been depicted. So in the Chinese literature, we are having also our Ram Katha, but it is in the form of Dasarath Kathanam. So in Chinese literature, there is a Chinese Tripitaka also, in which there is a collection of 121 Avdanas. Avdanas are the stories related with the Bodhisattva and Arhatas and the theories. And these Avdanas are known as Chao Pao Chang King. So this is, and in technically in Sanskrit it is called as Panchavisati. But in that Dasarath Kathanam, there is no any mention of the Sita or any other princess. That is the, but in that story, there were 4 queens also of King Dasarath, and there were 4 sons also. They took birth, but we are not having any reference of the Sita. And in Chinese Tripitaka also, there is another text also, which is known as Anamak Jatakam, whose Chinese translation was done by Kang Seung Hu in the 3rd century AD. Its original form, we are not aware that from which was the source of this Anamak Jataka and from where it has been translated. So, but in our 500 collections of our Pali Tripitaka Jataka, there is no any story related with the Anamak Jataka. So in that Jatak, there is no name of persons related with the Ramayana Katha, but the stories which have been depicted in this Anamak Jatak, they are quite similar to the Ramayana or Ram Katha also. We are coming to the Tibetan Ramayana, that how in Tibet Ramayana has been transformed. From the Tunhuang monastery, we have got several manuscripts, and which suggest that it enjoyed some popularity in this area related with the Ram Katha also. And in there might be probability that through Silk Road, there from the China to India, there was a Silk Road. So from the Silk Road, this Ramayana, fragments of the Ramayana, they have reached. There is no complete story. There is a, you can say, short story which have been collected in Dunhuang monastery, and there are fragments of the Ram Katha in that, but we are not complete there in that. So there is a short form of the Tibetan Ramayana also, and which is not available in our Indian form of Ramayana. But what is the source of that Ramayana in Tibet, from where the fragments of our Ramayana has reached to Dunhuang monastery, we are not able to work. The interesting story in this Dunhuang monastery is that when Sita was in captive in Asok Vatika in Sri Lanka, Hanuman travels there, and Hanuman gives a love letter to Sita, and again Sita also gives a love letter in reply, and which is also supplied to Lord Ram also by by Hanuman. So in this episode in Balmiki Ramayana or Kamman Ramayana, we are not having such type of information. In another episode of Tibetan Ramayana, we are having the information that how Ram chides Hanuman that you are not giving me information related with Sita, who is in Asok Vatika. So you just give me time to time information to me related with the Sita, that how she is living there. And Hanuman gives forgiveness. He asks also or apologizes that from the next time I will be very much aware and I will let you know also. And this in Tibetan Ramayana, it is said that it is there might be probability that from the Iran portion or from Khotan area, the fragments of the Ramayana might have reached to Dunuhang monastery. Now we are coming to the in Khotan Ramayana, which is the ancient name of the Iran or East Turkestan. So in Khotan, Tibetan Ramayana is available more serial to the Tibetan Ramayana. But here there is a sources of only Sita Haran, and the Ramayana is more closer to our Indian Valmiki Ramayana. So we are not very much clear that in the East Turkestan, from what was the source of Ramayana which is reaching in that area. Now we are coming to Thahi Ramayana that Professor Sambat was talking about the history of our so I would like to just show that how this Ram Kiyan was translated into a Sanskrit Mahakavya by Professor Satyavrata Sastri. If you go through this text, this Professor Satyavrata Sastri, who was a visiting professor in 1990 at Silpakkad University Department of Archaeology by Indian Council of Cultural Relations, then he tried to translate this Ram Kiyan in Sanskrit text, and there are 25 chapters in Ram Kiyan also. And the history of Ram Kiyan has been given in a brief manner, that how there are so many versions of Ram Kiyan, and there are so many different stories which are not similar to our Indian Valmiki Ramayana or Kamban Ramayana. But in Ram Kiyan, the Hindu deities and Hindu gods have been assimilated with the ideals of the teachings of the Buddha. So in that there are three forms. In a very brief manner, I would like to say that there are three forms of the Ramayana which are available in Thailand. First is the literature. Second is the you can say performing arts, and third is the visual arts. So in the literature, we are having the Ram Kiyan, in which the Ram story has been depicted, and there are so many versions. As Professor Sambat was also telling that in the south, Laos persons and others, there are so many versions of this Ram Kiyan. And this through the performing arts, Ramayana is also shown to the public, and in the performing arts, the story of this Ram Kirti or Ram Kiyan used exclusively for the performing of the shadow play. If you see that there is only shadow play on the wall, and there are mask dances also. So the dancers, mainly they are called as Khon dancers. They wear the mask and they convey their thoughts and emotions by means of only body movement and the postures and gestures of our body. They do not speak anything, but through their emotions and through their movement of the body, they speak about the stories related with our Ram Kiyan or Ram Kirti. And there are also a troupe of orchestra group also who performs the singing activities related with the performing of the shadow play also and the mask dance also. So this is the, you can say, a story related with the Thailand. I am just going give you the just 1-2 examples that how the teachings of the Buddha have been assimilated with our Hindu deities like Vishnu or Ram or other things. So there were two traditions, that the Ram traditions and as well as Buddha traditions, which were available in our. So in the Thai versions of our Ramkian, we are geographically localized with the sacred sites around the city of Labpur, which suggests that there is a Ram story might have been prominent there during the centuries of first millennium BC. BC.
Sir,
Huh.
just conclude in 2 minutes.
Within just I am coming. So I am living this. So I am coming just in Cambodia, Champa. That how in the 7th century Cambodia, the citations attest that Ramayana had become a major and favorite epic. Its episodes symbolized great historic events in sculpture monuments. So in the Khmer had impregnated with the Ramayana, which is evident from the fact that same scene were sufficient to characterize a form of fact, that even a name or a scene related with the Ramayana is sufficient to characterize the historic episode of the Ramayana. So in Sri Lanka also, since Buddha teachings of the Buddha became more popular, so Ramayana did not become more popular there also. But in Sri Lanka, the Ramayana was first of all translated and by Kumar Das in the 7th century AD. But we are having only Sita Haran, not after that. So there is also point of investigation that after Sita Haran, why not the Kumar Das who has translated this Ramayana? So after Sita Haran, there is no story in the Sinhalese Ramayana, and it did not become popular in Sri Lanka also. Later on, some English scholars also, they have translated into this great manner. So regarding the Laos, Professor Sambat has also told in a very detailed manner. In Malaysia, we are also that how Sri Ram of the 15th century has been basis for the repository of Malay shadow plays. There also we are having shadow play of the Ramayana episodes or Ramayana Ram Katha. So the popularity of Ram Saga in Malaysia is attested by a variety of local literary versions. So there are so many versions in, and in Burma also, when in 1767, it was captured by, when Ayodhya was captured and demolished by our Burmese soldiers. Yes. So this, I just conclude it that through the different countries of the Asia, we have seen that how the Ram Katha has become more popular, and the love for Ram has become extended by the use of word in the just all the Laos Ramayana, or you can say this our Thai Ramayana, and this in Indonesia and others. There are so many Ramayana ballet which are being depicted, and it shows that how the Ram Katha became more popular in the South Asian countries, and in how the Hindu deities have been assimilated with the ideals of the teachings of the Buddha. So it is a matter of more investigations. With these words, I would like to thank the organizers to give me an opportunity to tell something or to share some of the views related with the Ram Katha. So thank you very much, Dr. Anita ji, for giving me an opportunity. Thank you to you all for patience here.